How you guys doing? I'm doing good. Good to be back.
What different does it feel right now for you kind of going into your first full off season, but at least, coming off of a season where you sort of know the ins and outs of what's
It's definitely a lot nicer than coming in as a rookie, and you have to basically learn everything new and where everywhere in the building is. I'm not getting lost, this time around. So that's nice, and it's just good to be around. All the guys, so you come back and you're looking forward to seeing everyone and getting to meet new people.
This is the offseason time we've talked to you since winning that defensive rookie of the year award. Just now that that's over, what did that mean to you, and just the whole presentation of it, and having your dad give you the award?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Having my whole family was there, which was cool to share that with all them, and just to be able to receive that's a great honor. But now I guess the mindset is just what's next. Keep building off of it.
What are your first impressions of Mike Rutenberg, and just what do you kind of think of him so far, and maybe what has his message to you been a little bit?
Yeah, it's been great. Getting to know him, a lot of energy. Somebody that I'll be talking to every day and working with closely, and I think good things are going to come from it. I'm excited.
What did the season look like for you in terms of a little relaxation, but also trying to get locked in? Last year you said you wanted this year to be even bigger than last year. So what does it look like for you as you enter this phase of off-season workouts here?
Yeah, I think that the beginning of off-season was just getting healthy and getting the body right again. I think that rookie year is a long year. You don't really get a break from your college season to training to draft to everything like that. So really just get the body back to healthy. And now it's just the same thing as always, trying to find everything that I can get better at and finding ways to do that throughout this process.
I know you're only 2 days in, but has Coach Rutenberg talked about what's going to change, whether it's schematically, philosophically, from when?
Yeah, I think every coach, comes in with what they want, their pillars to be in the mindset. And I think, as a defense, we're trying to build on what we did last year, and we're still gonna, schematically, we're still with the attack front, and we're gonna go get after people. And I think that's really the mindset there. And as everyone has their own wrinkles and stuff that they'll add in, so I'm excited to learn those and really continue to build on what we did.
When you talk about getting better, I mean, it's hard to kind of look back at last year and point at the things that you could have done better. So what are some of the things you've kind of circled and that you want to do better?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things to get better at, whether it's just the preparation throughout the week, game week, and figuring out really what to watch, how to watch film, and things like that. But even just in this time, whether it's improving the football knowledge, football intelligence, right, or just finding better ways to attack the ball and really get those punch outs. I think that's something I'm really going to work on this year, and just continuing to grow in terms of patience behind the ball and being able to see things and being ready by the snap.
As a unit, Carson, what can you guys do to be better than last year?
I think as a unit we got great players all over the field, and I think for us if we're all communicating and we're all on the same page, that's what you want for a defense, and I think us all being on the same page, knowing what we're all doing is big moving forward.
How do you think that you guys as a unit have responded to the departure of, everybody loved Jim Schwartz so much? What do you think the mindset is about him leaving?
Yeah, I think the response has been great. Obviously, everyone loves Schwartz, and we all love playing for him, but the mindset's still the same. You go in and we're finding out how we can be the best defense we can be with the coaches that are around us, and we have great coaches around this year too, and so just looking forward to being able to do that.
What about adding Quincy Williams to your guys' group? Have you had a chance to get to know him much yet, and how exciting?
Yeah, no, I'm very excited to be able to have him in the room and be able to learn from him. He's been in the league a long time, and so he's got a lot of stuff to teach, and just the energy he brings to is something you can already tell from 2 days. So it's going to be something that I'm excited to be around the whole year.
Carson, you talked about like last year, especially being such a whirlwind, training for the draft, and then you get drafted, and then play a whole season. Why this year was it so important for you to be here as early as you are, understanding the off-season program is voluntary?
Yeah, I think for me, I just want to be able to do as much as I can and get better. And I think the place for me to do that is here. And obviously we have all, the Rudy here and a lot of whole new coaches. And so I think it's important to get to meet them as well and understand them. And, I was excited too to be around, all the guys again and see them and be able to work with them.
How does it feel when you walk into a building and see guys that have been here, rehabbing here? Quinshon Judkins is one of those guys working to try to get back on the field. What does it mean as a teammate of theirs to be around them?
Yeah, just seeing the work that they put into, and at least for me, I was back in California. It was sunny, so I don't know if I could have done the cold for that long. So just seeing the work that they put in and the mindset they have to get healthy so that they can contribute to this team is pretty special. And then just being able to see them outside of that and just as boys hang out and just see them again after a while, it's been good.
What did you take away from Todd's opening message, and what have you been your early impressions of him?
I think it was great. I think a lot of it's just about the mindset of this team and how we're going to play. And the goal here is to go win a Super Bowl. I think that's the end goal, and that's what's been established. And, I'm looking forward to working towards that.
I think I saw you were in Hawaii, for an event that Dylan was putting on. Just how did that come together, and how'd you enjoy that trip?
Me and Dylan hang out a lot, and I'm not gonna say no to an excuse to go to Hawaii. So it was raining a lot that day too. But just wanted to go out there and be able to support him, and then also take a nice 4 or 5 days and sit in the sun.
The fact that you guys have all the position coaches back on defense, how important is that for you guys to build on what you did last year and the continuity?
Yeah, I think the continuity is extremely helpful, and for me specifically, having Tarv's great. You come in, you already have that connection with the coach, and you know each other, and I think that's really helpful in being able to build.
What's going through the full offseason program this summer? What's important for you, do you think, as you guys sort of ramp things up here? And obviously, there's limitations.
Yeah, I think for me, like what I talked about, it's just finding the areas that I want to get better at, whether it's things on the field, things off the field, and finding tangible ways to measure it, to watch it, to get better, and keep growing.
I know it's early, obviously, but what's Tarver's early message been to you about this next season?
Yeah, I think me and Tarver have talked a lot about areas to improve and how we're going to do that and what to do to get there, and just too excited to be back and be around him. I got to go back to Cali more than he did too, so he's a little jealous of that. But I'm just excited to be around him too and the energy he brings.
Season about preparing your body to get through a full 17-game slate.
Yeah, I think just the preparation you have for your body is important. And, sometimes as you're playing football, things are going to happen you can't control. And it's just a matter of, doing everything you can to feel as good as you can on game day and, try and do everything I can to stay on the field.
Todd was mentioning that he tried to set this program up in such a way that you guys want to be here. So what about the program sort of is going to make it enjoyable or fun in addition to all the work?
Yeah, I think, if you love football, you're going to love being here. I think that's what it is. That's what we're doing every day is football, and you're with your brothers every day, and you're doing football, and I think that's really the base of it. If you love football, you're going to love this. Thank you.